What's good, y'all? Just want to share something with you guys that has been on my heart for a little while. So everybody knows the story of Jesus and Judas and how Judas betrayed Jesus. And although Jesus was both 100% man and 100% God, he was still human. So when Judas betrayed him, he was severely heartbroken by that. He was very heartbroken. And I would, many will argue that that's the greatest betrayal of all time. But have you guys ever sit back and thought about what was God's greatest betrayal? What was his first heartbreak? I began to think about that and ponder on that. And I began to think about Lucifer. Well, as we know him, Satan now. But at that point in time, he was Lucifer. God made Lucifer pure perfection. He was so beautiful and wise in every way. He had no weaknesses. He was fully aware, supreme in wisdom, head of the worship in heaven, the leader of all angels. Everybody respected him. He was close with God. God allowed him to see parts of himself that other angels weren't able to see because of his hierarchy. He was able to see that because they were close. They were intimate. And then he betrayed him. I want y'all to get this. Everybody who's watching this video, I'm sure that you have been betrayed in some way, shape, form, or fashion by somebody who was close to you. And it hurt, didn't it? I know how it felt. I know how it feels. And I also know how it feels to be the person that betrayed somebody else. Think about the time when you've been severely hurt and betrayed. Think about how bad that hurt you. We were made in God's image and likeness. So if you think that God wasn't hurt by that, if you think God wasn't heartbroken by that, you got another thought coming. Because again, think about how you felt whenever, your husband or your wife cheated on you, or your best friend stabbed you in the back, or your family members talking about you behind your back, plotting against you. How did you feel? Because these people were close to you. They were close. Not everybody had the access that they had. And then they stabbed you in the back. They betrayed you in the worst way. Think about how you felt during that time. And as bad as you felt, and I'm not minimizing nobody's pain, but as bad as you felt, you didn't feel as bad as God. Because them people that betrayed you, they were imperfect. I'm not making no excuses for what they did, but we're all perfect. We're all imperfect and we're all flawed. When Lucifer betrayed God, he was perfection. There was no excuse for that. He was supreme in wisdom. That's why there can't be, for anybody who's ever questioned, okay, can Satan be forgiven? No, he cannot be, because he was made in perfection. So there is no redemption for anybody who was made in perfection. And he was obviously supreme in wisdom because he fooled a third of the angels in heaven to go and follow him in his rebellion to God. Y'all, God was heartbroken. I had a conversation and I was just pondering, just praying, just doing my research. And you can read more about, if you're interested in reading Isaiah 14, start at verse 13, about the fall of Satan. But just thinking about God's, and like the more I thought about it, man, like the more I really started to get emotional. Because I think about all the times how I felt, like my worst heartbreak, and how bad I felt. And I'm like, God, you felt worse. Because again, Lucifer was close to God. God revealed parts of himself to Lucifer that other angels didn't have access to. They were close. And when he betrayed him, that hurt God. And obviously, we all know what happened. There were consequences for Lucifer, who's now Satan, for his actions. I'm making this video to let y'all know that if you ever been hurt, if you ever felt like God didn't understand you, that God don't understand your pain, He absolutely does. In fact, God understands betrayal on a level that you will never understand. He felt pain that you would never feel, because you never been betrayed by a perfect person that close to you. Man, Satan meant that. He meant it. And that's why there's no redemption for him or any angels that followed him, because that was a perfect betrayal. God understands your pain. He understands your heartbreak. So don't be discouraged if you've been betrayed in the worst way. Don't feel like you lost something, because be encouraged that we strive to be like God. We strive to be more and more like him. We strive to follow his path. And if we're going to share in his glory, we got to share in his pain. But the good news is, as much pain as you felt and as much pain as you went through, the blessings and the glory that God has for you will far outweigh any pain that you could ever feel, that you could ever imagine. I want to encourage y'all today once again that God knows about your pain, because he understands it. And again, he understands it on a level that we'll never understand it on. He truly feels you. He knows. And he's going to heal you and bring you out of it. Have you ever thought about God's first heartbreak? I have. Be encouraged, y'all. He's a healer, and he truly understands you. I love y'all. It's Kingdom Talk.